It's called a promo, kid.
Shut your mouth,
if you want to
John.
be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it. So go ahead.
You ready? No! I said, are you ready?
That was good. Glad you finally decided to pull that giant stick out of your butt and have some fun for once in your life.
You're uneducated marks! You sit there on your phones tweeting out your opinions like they're worth a damn. Let me explain something to you people. You don't know shit!
And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's death.
First time in forever. This is the first time in, I couldn't tell you how long we have an opening clip to start.
Let's go. Open it.
Let's open it up.
The Bullet Club, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Wow.
I was the leader for a short period of time. There's a whole online argument about was I ever a Bullet Club leader? It is official. I did lead it.
You heard it here.
I did lead it. Yeah. I won against Kenny to get leadership of the Bullet Club for a brief time. But guy in WWE, I have to shout him out for that logo, is Finn Balor. He's probably owed millions of dollars for the success of Bullet Club. He started it, and I don't think he's ever seen any of that. I know he's just happy.
Well, as a former leader, you should.
That's right. That's right. Hey, man.
I just put him over on the podcast.
You're telling me this guy doesn't see any of that? No, if I were Finn...
Surely you see something.
No. If he sees nothing, I would go up to who's it, David Finlay right now, punch him in the face, and say, give him my money.
The fact that you had to think a little bit about who it was, you shouldn't have a second thought, but you do. So, to start this Crown Jewel special, that's what we're doing. What do we want to talk about? We haven't done a what do we want to talk about in quite some time.
What do we want to talk about?
What do we want to talk about? I want to talk about... Do you have the pre-show on here, or are we going straight into the pay-per-view?
Not quite straight into the pay-per-view. Not a whole lot of pre-show. A lot of what I have to talk about is pre-show.
Okay.
It's like just
Yeah, we got a lot of things going on
just
ahead of time.
state of the union address here. You can't sit here and try to fabricate history and tell me you're the leader of the Bullet Club.
Shame.
There's a little text exchange we had over the subject.
It was math, guys. I'm sorry. Sometimes when I type...
That makes a lot of sense. I was like, I don't know what Mara is, but I'm going to surprise you and let you know I'm rooting for Gunther to win today. I got beef with Cody as of late, but not for the body shaming thing. I was like, well, yeah, there's that. There was that. I honestly forgot about that. Surprising. I said surprising. I did find that odd. Not given that his dad was a chunky icon.
Yeah.
No, it's him trying to push this false narrative. He was never the leader of the Bullet Club. Those of us that were there can verify.
I wasn't, so I guess I believe in Cody Rhodes.
He's in his revisionist era, I said. He's really gotten in this whole...
He's very company line, you know. He's towing it.
Company Cody. It's kind of debunking my Cody conspiracy that I've never gotten to go over, and that's that Cody Rhodes has been working an inside job this whole entire time.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of off that conspiracy, but we'll still talk about it later. Here's another thing to talk about. There's this whole WWE independent discovery program going on. There's certain schools and whatnot, which are a lot of schools run their own independent promotion, as we know. Well, a lot of them are joining this, becoming.
I mean, to be fair,
yeah,
the first school on the list shouldn't even count as new at this point. Everyone who's pretty much been through reality wrestling goes to WWE.
I had to look down for a second, see who. Yeah, reality wrestling, the Nightmare Factory, which are the two schools I'm talking about here on this tweet. I know people training in two of the listed schools that are excited about this, but literally every other person who I know that's training or already wrestling in the independents, not feeling this. And I can kind of get why.
Yeah. I'm
gonna post this other message I had up with some friends. Basically what I'm saying here is the indies are about to be WWE and AEW what college football is to the NFL, and that's just camps and programs that are pathways to the major companies.
Yeah.
It's capping the market on any independent promotions ever breaking into the game and getting any larger. So independent shows won't be so independent anymore, and in some form or fashion you're supporting a larger company by going to indie shows, which is crazy. Exact same thing that we did with the territories way back when. It's monopolizing the wrestling business, and I feel like you can be optimistic about it if in some form or fashion be like, okay, well, almost everybody who gets into wrestling wants to be on that level.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be both good and bad from this, but
yeah,
I think we're going to lose a lot of what makes the indie so magical, and it's going to suck. It's going to suck a lot. Already we saw kind of like with NXT UK and things like that, how it like cannibalized those territories. But
I think it's good for individual wrestlers, especially those wanting to get into major companies. But for independent promotions themselves, it's awful. It's terrible.
Yeah, we'll see. Like in a few years, does this mean indies just kind of shudder? Is that what this could lead to? I hope not, but we'll see.
I hope not. You literally can't find a good quality wrestling show for under $20 anymore. You have to go to WWE when they pull through. That ain't it. What else do I want to talk about? My girlfriend made me dress up for Halloween, so I lightly put together a Jon Moxley outfit and grabbed an AEW World Title belt. But now that I'm out and about in the streets, I kind of feel like I want to go around kicking people's ass.
Let's go.
It's Jon Moxley's Death Rider. Poor Darby. Here's pictures. My girlfriend was Lita, if you couldn't guess it.
Oh, okay. You guys, look at you guys.
We got the whole Lita Mox thing going.
I told you on the way home, or on the way over here, about my Halloween, so...
I just dressed up like Jon Moxley and went around mean mugging people. Here's another thing, last thing to talk about here.
So...
Releases. Got some releases.
So on one hand, it's not as many as we're normally used to, right?
Right.
And technically, only 2 got released. Corbin, from what I hear, his contract just wasn't renewed.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to go wherever he wants. The thing about that is, from what it sounds like, his tweets and just kind of what we know about Corbin overall, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's done with wrestling.
Oh, wow.
I think, he hasn't confirmed it or anything.
Yeah.
But just the defeated sound of like his tweets, like, okay, that's it, guys. Hanging it up.
What?
Tegan.
Interesting.
I know you're a big Tegan supporter.
Yeah, I already am looking for the interview, but there's a 90 days
she can't even say anything either until now.
Saw Indy's tweet. I think a lot of people have. Indy was like, wait, what? She had no idea. Literally, Sean Ross made this announcement, and this was like an hour after we just saw Indy wrestle on SmackDown.
And then her tweet afterwards was the exact same tweet she sent when she got injured and had to relinquish the NXT Championship, which was, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
Yeah.
Very positive outlook, obviously.
That made me sad.
It did, though.
She got injured. Oh, man, I remember that. It took me back. All right. Now, you mentioned the pre-show, though. That's why I'm hesitating.
Yeah, so
you mentioned the pre-show.
There's one thing.
What you got?
When they had Sheamus on the second hour, and I thought that was like, okay, that's whatever. I guess they're
could be a banger.
I think they're maybe like testing him, maybe to see if maybe there's something he can do post wrestling, or maybe they just need to put him out somewhere. He is going to be in. He was already there because they're going to have a show from Raw, which is another thing I didn't know. Until I guess I missed it. This next Raw is also going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Finding out, again, mentioning a boy Sheamus, he's going to be competing in tonight's Raw to determine a number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. I don't think he wins it, but still, that makes me think he's not going into broadcasting anytime soon.
Yeah, but what was said here, I think it was whoever, I think it was Jackie or someone. It was whoever was on the commentary with them in the pre-show with them. Mm-hmm. It was him, Big E, and her. She said, and I quote, "You're still an active WWE superstar. How would you? I think I'm talking about the Gunther match. There was something, but that part right there. You're still an active WWE superstar. You want to say that when you have Big E, literally the next person over."
So, technically, yeah, he's still an active WWE superstar, just not active in the ring. Damn.
I guess he is, but like,
It kind of feels like a slap in the face.
A little bit.
Now, I don't normally do this, but I posted predictions.
You did.
Pull this tweet up here. How just like every pay-per-view, I live tweet during pay-per-views. This was the first time in a while I live tweeted a lot before the pay-per-view, and then once it started, I kind of just zoned out, forgot about it. So a lot of tweets to show beforehand. Here's my predictions. Got Gunther over Cody, Liv over Nia via interference, Jade Bianca retaining, Owens over Orton, Rollins over Reed, Knight retaining. We'll keep a little counter at the bottom to see how many I got right versus how many I botched.
Which it looks like you missed. Hold on.
Yeah, here's another tweet. Forgot the bloodline match. Roman, Jimmy, Jay, get the W. Acknowledge it. There you go. Those are my predictions heading in. You probably already know the results if you're a wrestling fan watching this program right now, but thanks for tuning in anyway. Another tweet I sent.
Yes.
I seriously love this thing Kevin Owens is doing where he wears the t-shirts of people he's beefing with. Stads,
Yes.
Dusty Rhodes, Cowboy Bob Orton. You
I
maniacal genius.
love the little layers he's able to still put in here, even though it feels like he should be higher than where he is.
Yeah.
And maybe they're setting him up for something.
Let's you know what? Let's just talk about this because I don't think we've really talked about this. There's a little conversation I've been having all week about. Is he supposed to be leaving? Is he not re-signing? There's a rumor that Kevin Owens re-signed months ago, and WWE is spreading a rumor that his contract's coming up. What do you think? I know what I think.
I don't know. I mean, he's still in an active feud.
Yeah.
A little spoiler for later. I don't know. They could have wrote him off. I don't know.
They
spoiler
could.
for later, but
I don't think they will. I kind of agree with the idea. I know it's a little weird sounding, but I think WWE is kind of tired of the Dave Meltzers of the world, and they did create a rumor to knock them off. Because I remember talking about Kevin Owens' contract being up like 3-4 months ago, and pretty sure he re-signed back then.
I mean, at this point, when that came out, and then he started being in this feud, I was like, okay, yeah, he re-signed. I mean,
yeah.
Randy Orton.
I believe in my heart of hearts Kevin Owens has already re-signed with WWE. But I was curious to your take on it. Here's another tweet. Roman losing in Saudi Arabia? Yeah, right. Man is like WrestleMania Undertaker when it comes to Saudi.
Well.
He is. All right, who got a bigger pop, Roman Reigns or Jey Uso? I say Roman Reigns. It's Roman Reigns in Saudi.
Okay, but here's the thing, and I mentioned this to my family when we were watching SmackDown. They are now singing Jay's song.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, he is, in my opinion, world champion material.
Yeah, no doubt over. I think he's a main event Jey Uso. He is now actually main event Jey Uso.
I think...
He has been for a little bit now.
I don't know. I thought Jay got the bigger pop, but that's just me. Also, it's a little cheating when you come out through the crowd.
Yeah. That's why, because it sounds louder. You kind of could argue Jey Uso got the bigger pop, but what made me solidify my answer on it being Roman Reigns was because mid-match the crowd was
chanting for
Roman the most. Jey Uso gets the blessing to start the match though against Tama Tonga, and I'm not sure why, but for the longest time Jacob Fatu stayed in the praying position at the edge of the ring.
He just does that.
I know he does it. Just to be there on the side of the ring too is like,
I love you Solo.
I love you Solo.
He does it with such...
It's too aggressive.
No, it's correct. Keep it.
Jay tags Jimmy and the crowd pops because finally the Usos are officially back to being the Usos a little bit.
Uso.
I'm really glad that they have their own identities now.
Yes.
It's something we all wanted for them, but they're the Usos. That's what we want to. Crowd chants, we want Roman. That's actually what we want.
Yep.
And Roman reaches out for the tag, but Jay tags Jimmy a second time.
Ooh.
We were like,
Oh.
There's still some bad blood there.
But
I can't get out of bad blood. Jacob Fatu over-acknowledges
He
Solo
does.
a bunch more, but also kicks a lot of Uso ass once he gets in the match.
I made a joke with my family. I was like, so do you think when they're at the family table and like they're just, sitting and eating and like maybe everything is quiet for some reason and then Jacob just, I love you, Solo.
I'm telling you, it has to be like that. He couldn't get one kick in without telling Solo he loved him.
Just so good.
That's what's going to make it even better when he finally turns on Solo.
Yes.
After a lot of that mentioned, Jacob Fatu ass-kicking Jey Uso makes the desperate tag to Roman, who comes in to beat up on Solo Sikoa.
Yep.
We all wanted it.
Hell yeah.
Solo hits Roman with the spike and kind of pins him for a 3 a little bit, but the story we go with is Jimmy came in for the save last second.
Jimmy was just like 5 seconds off.
5 seconds
It
off.
was pretty bad, though. It was really bad.
There's so much wrong about that we could point out.
Mind you, this isn't the last botch on the show.
Nope.
Saudi Arabia shows always tend to have more botches.
Why?
For whatever reason.
You know, that was a glass-shattering moment. I've never realized, but for whatever reason, there's always a botch of some major proportion going on at the Saudi Arabia shows. Damn! Jeff Hardy and Jinder, the world's famous slide, world slide.
Titus World
Yeah,
Slide.
it's taking me a second. Dude, the whole DX versus Brothers of Destruction match.
Yep.
Goldberg.
Just Goldberg. I love that. Goldberg.
Dude. Alright, dissension happens and everyone starts fighting and doing bloodline moves and stuff.
Yep.
Solo hits Roman with multiple spikes and pins Roman clean in Saudi. Show my tweet again, but this is the quoted tweet. Did not age well. Well, there goes my theory.
So it was about halfway through where I realized, and they were chanting it at some point too. Sammy, Sammy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Shmammy.
And I was like, wait a minute, Sammy doesn't have any part, and he normally takes part in the Saudi Arabia shows.
In some form or fashion.
His heritage
right?
and everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
After the match, it breaks down some more, and the new bloodlines start jumping all 3 OTC members until Sammy comes to stop it.
Yep.
Solo asks Sammy for a hug and for him to join them. He acts like he will, but then goes for the exploder. Not a smart choice in my opinion. That's not a smart choice. Go straight for a move when there's 4 grizzly men staring at you. That's not a move.
Very fair, honestly.
But it didn't turn out too bad for him. The old bloodline all get Solo positioned in the middle of the ring, and Roman and Sammy both go for the kill. That was intense, but Solo ducks and they hit each other, and this creates a lot of tension and questions.
And they'll probably set up the War Games match, right?
That's what I'm thinking, and I need to save that a little bit because that's going to tie into the final notes at the end of the show. Now, I already got one wrong, so we're not on a great start.
Not great, man. Not great.
Women's tag team title match. This isn't too bad. Let's show a little text exchange again. Said, this is fair. It would be kind of funny if Jade and Bianca lost, is what you were going for.
Mind
there.
you, it's not because I dislike them.
It's because of his typos. I said, and here's my typo. I can't talk too much shit. To the Meta Girls or to Io and Kyrie? This is a test. Damage control. Having Meta win so soon would be setting them up too high, too fast. As you see, you passed. Exactly how I feel about it. I like how Chelsea and Piper wasn't even a choice. I love them, but no, it wasn't this time. And watch that be who wins. Damage control come out first to their cool revised theme. They've had it for a while, but I've just only noticed it.
Yeah, it's still people in general didn't even like the first theme, honestly.
Fair.
But I mean, I think it's okay.
Like we're gonna just kind of orientalize this a little bit. Followed by the Meta Girls, then of course Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, with the champions Jade and Bianca
I
following.
have to ask because I couldn't
Ask
notice
away.
it. Did anyone get a pop?
I can't.
I don't think so. I think like Bianca and Jade got the most like reaction,
Probably.
but I don't think anyone got a genuine pop.
It's
And
women in Saudi, and it's sad that
I know.
I feel like they keep making more and more strides, but the crowd's still this kind of same demographic.
Yeah.
Match is a good mix of women's wrestling, of course. Kind of hard to get into too many specifics when you're going over a fatal 4-way tag team match without calling it move for move, and that could go on for forever.
I will say, and like,
Excuse me.
I want to say, as we had that big botch in the first match,
Yeah.
there were a couple spots where in this match, again, rough, and I don't mean to like, that's not a bad thing. Dude, we're gonna have those, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes when they come at the worst moments, which they did kind of, kills momentum and you have to reset.
It's like, is there any you feel like you have to point out?
There's not any I can remember off the top of my head because a lot of
Sure.
action happened.
Yeah.
I know at one point, Kyrie was the one to get the momentum back, though.
Dude,
Her
did
yelling and
she?
being like, you know, she's really good at that. And I know, like, Japanese wrestlers are very good at that.
Yeah. The match got way more exciting than I anticipated, because I didn't anticipate it to be good, given weeks leading up to it is the thing I was the least interested in.
I think going into it, my thing was, okay, I still don't think Jakara is main roster ready, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She's still a little bit too fresh. Lash, okay, I could kind of see
It's like if I could point anything out in that Fatal 4-Way match that looked a little bit rough, it was the Lash Legend Jakara Jackson assisted powerbomb. That
she was literally like, they showed it again at the right angle to see just how far off she was.
It's like either they just did that very poorly or Kairi sold her ass off. I think it was both. I think they did it a little poorly and Kairi was like, I'm going to sell the out of this.
She does. I mean, and I feel like the smaller you are, the better you are at doing that.
She's a seller. One constant I can also point out that never changes, though, Chelsea Green is hilarious. Yes. One thing that never changes in these matches, Chelsea Green is entertaining.
I didn't even notice that when Piper hit her with the Viper Bomb, or Piper Bomb? Is it Piper Bomb or Viper Bomb?
I think it's the Piper Bomb.
I think it, yeah.
It's the Piper Viper.
I didn't notice it was Chelsea for a second until she started, she turned toward the camera. I'm like, oh no, she hit Chelsea.
No. Chelsea Green is entertainment. She's the E in WWE.
Let's go.
Jade and Bianca hit the Doomsday device and get the win after the other three teams shined out for a few minutes. The other three teams had like a great showing, and then Jade and Bianca did the thing where they come and get the win.
Yeah, I wasn't... Honestly, at this point, I think it's time to take the titles off of Jade and Bianca. I was feeling Damage Control. I was even feeling Chelsea and Piper, honestly.
I think they've realized, okay, we can't do as much with the Jade and Bianca tag team that we thought we could, but they are still a fan favorite. So let's just keep putting them in the position to win the matches, but let the tag team division show how great it is.
I hate to put it this way.
Sucks.
But I think they've realized, okay, the Jade, and they keep teasing Jade and Lash. And the way I see it is Lash is what they wish Jade was.
Yeah.
Lash is someone that they were able to build from the beginning, teach the ways, and she's pretty much...
Yeah.
And she had no prior training just like Jade did.
I've felt like Lash Legend could really be something for a while now.
And Jade's not delivering what they were hoping, but they don't want to admit that it's because of them that they messed up, so they're just trying to make it work.
Mini Mux pulling up. If we can get him. Oh my gosh. Don't headbutt them. Dude, he chooses violence every day.
He does choose violence every day.
There you go. Replaced. No, he's actually just in the middle now.
Oh, it is wrestling in the middle.
See, I felt like, alright, just like we were talking about before that, you could put the titles on Jakara and Lash Legend for the fact that they are something you could build up, but they just need time to be in that position. No. Yeah. Now, Kairi and Io, anytime.
See, I also didn't remember. Chelsea and Piper won the titles at one point?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I don't remember it.
I did.
I don't...
Why I remember it, too, is because on our show, we talked about it. It was at a very dark time in the women's tag division. Chelsea Green was, going through tag team partners, and we were like, you know what? This could work. This could work. And look at them. They've gone a long way. Sure, they didn't stay champions long, but I think they accomplished something more than becoming champions, and that's becoming over with the fans. They're like the Highlanders. Everybody loves the Highlanders. We don't need them to be champions to love them. They're just entertainment. And just as entertaining as I wanted it to be, here's a tweet. I think Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed has the build and potential to over-deliver and be one of the best matches of the night.
For sure.
Now, was it the best match tonight? I'm not going to go ahead and warm you up and tell you that it was, but I stick by the fact that it had a great build and it did deliver to a good capacity. Seth Rollins comes out first and gets the crowd amped up. He's really good at that.
Yes.
Bronson just comes out looking ready to fight, but not as ready as Seth Rollins, who hits the breakout button and starts running up the ramp to meet Reed. He hit X. He hit X, he said. They fight on the stage and back down the ramp into the ring and back outside of it, into the timekeeper's area and through the chairs by it, then into the stairs before back into the ring to officially start the match.
There was a point where I thought, we aren't having this match.
After the match starts officially, Bronson Reed gets an immediate tsunami. He goes for a second, but Rollins rolls away from it and hits the stomp, which Bronson kicks out of it too. Talk about a hot start.
I know. I'm glad they both started with one finisher each.
Yeah, I'm glad that wasn't all to the match.
Yeah.
That could have been a situation where all right, quick finish. But no, there was a lot more to the match.
Yes.
Bronson dominates the better part of the match, I'd say, which makes sense. He's a big man in an MF Doom singlet, so...
Such a good singlet. Like, I love that singlet.
But when Rollins bounces back, he bounces back.
Oh, yeah. And I think that was the story, right?
Yeah.
Rollins... You told me, like, the Kingslayer, Beastslayer thing was really big.
Yeah.
So having him in this underdog role again, it seems like what they're trying to pull off.
Bronson tells Rollins he's going to break his ribs, and Rollins responds with, "You should have finished me when you had the chance." Something along those lines. I think I'm indirectly quoting here. They take the fight outside, and it culminates to Bronson getting his head stomped into the steps, and I never tire of seeing that spot.
No.
He beats a count out after that and catches another stomp. Not enough. No. Another stomp, and then finally gets pinned for the 3. Rollins gets the win.
Mind you, it's a super stomp, and after the match...
Super stomp.
Bronson just gets up after the match. He's like, all right, yeah, I'm still standing. It seems like they're
the blood trickling down his head.
It definitely seems like this feud's going to continue.
Yeah, I think little bit of prediction here for Raw tonight. Bronson Reed's about to come cost Seth Rollins in this fatal 4-way.
Oh, yeah.
Sheamus is going over. No. I think Damian Priest is going, actually.
You think it's Damian?
Unfortunately.
It's either Damian or Dom.
I'm rooting for Dom now. That's Raw. Yeah, go on what you're going to say.
There's a part of me...
Get to the women's...
Because I like Damian. I've liked Damian. And I don't know how I feel about him getting destroyed by Gunther again.
Yeah, it's just because he said the Raw before Crown Jewel. He's coming for it. I felt like he was a prime candidate.
Yeah.
But I want Dirty Dom to get it, and it could make sense. Also, I was chuckling to myself a little bit because reading my notes, I had to make a correction. For Women's Crown Jewel Championship, I accidentally put Women's Corn Jewel Championship, and there's no corn in that title.
Oh, no.
WWE Women's Champion, Nia Jax, comes out first without Tiffy by her side.
Yeah, I noticed both came out alone.
Yeah, I was going to say, Women's World Champion Liv comes out next without any Judgment Day members by her side.
Which we knew.
We knew.
Right? Yeah.
I in my prediction, I said, by interference. They do the cool champions introduction, which feels right for this. Liv tries to take the fight to Nia, but Nia uses her big girl moves to quickly put a stop to that.
Yep.
Then she goes about ragdolling her.
Poor Liv, especially that hair whip.
Not the hair whip. Match goes about fairly. And as fast at the break of action and rest period, we hear Tiffany Stratton's music. She comes to cash in, but Nia stops her. Which doesn't necessarily keep Tiffany from leaving. She stays ringside and tries cashing in again, but this time is stopped by Raquel. This distracts Nia and Liv almost wins it, but Nia kicks out of the oblivion.
Just want to say, Tiffany got the biggest pop out of the 3.
Yes. That's actually a very good observation.
And, I mean, obviously they've been building her, and we know, so...
So now, Dom, Raquel, Stratton are all ringside. Dom slides the briefcase in, Raquel interferes, and Liv gets the win. I called it. You can go ahead and add another one here to the called it.
There was something about this match and the matches following. There was at one point, it was this match specifically, where I started feeling like, are we now rushing a little bit? Because I feel like you could have got a little bit more out of Nia and Liv.
Yeah.
As well as the next few matches coming up.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I can agree to that. Orton versus Owens. Owens comes out in his Cowboy Bob Orton shirt. Love it.
Love it.
You know how I feel about this.
It's such a good angle.
The king of subtlety, I swear.
Yes.
I swear. Orton comes out to a sea of Saudis singing his theme. That was a tongue twister.
Look at the alliteration on
I know. To a sea of Saudis singing his theme. As Randy is soaking it all in, Kevin attacks him in the ring with a chair, and thus it begins.
Kevin? Why?
Thus it begins. This sparks the fight, and the fight quickly spills out to ringside commentary area. I thought the bell had already rung or something. I thought this was mid-match. No way. They go all around, and Kevin loses his mind, tries to hit Orton with the chair. The ref stops him, and Kevin gives the ref a stunner.
Kevin, why?
I popped at that.
Or no, Kevin, you can't do that!
Randy and Kevin keep fighting, hitting refs and officials in the way. The GMs come to stop it, and Adam Pearce catches an RKO. Why? He's not even on this show. Orton and Owens both still just keep on fighting, on into the crowd. They fight.
Yeah,
It's a fight.
I mean, for what could have been just a small segment, because given what ends up happening,
Yeah.
they at least try to draw it out a little bit.
Owens gets Orton set up on a table and then climbs up into the stands and hits a diving elbow through a production table. I said, holy shit. Certainly, I did not predict that, and I have to add a 1 to the didn't call it column.
Yeah, because technically no one won.
Didn't call that one.
I think it's a really good. It's really good when you have these things like this subversion, right?
Yeah.
Where you don't expect it. That's what made the Attitude Era so good, was all the unexpected things.
Looking at the time during the pay-per-view, I try not to focus on time too much, but I did wonder, like, okay, there's still a U.S. title match after this, so how much are we going to do with Owens versus Orton? There was the answer. And, like, as we were saying when we were talking about Owens' contract expiring, I feel like it's kind of a telltale sign, like, he's not going anywhere.
It still felt shorter than it could have been, which goes more into the rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
It did, but likewise, if it's going to play out longer,
yeah,
it'll balance back out and you'll get your payoff. Now, U.S. title match. Carmelo Hayes comes out first, and man, what a long way he's come this year, am I right?
Yeah, the only thing is that, like, at this point, I honestly thought he would. Before LA Knight won the title, I thought he'd have a title by now.
Yeah.
Obviously, with LA Knight holding the title, that's a hard sell. But because I put him and Braun on sort of the same level.
Fair.
So it feels like they would have paralleled each other. But at this point, obviously, Braun,
yeah, he's kind of hitting that curve.
Yeah.
And see, I predicted LA Knight. I rooted for Carmelo Hayes myself. For that reason, I feel like Carmelo Hayes is kind of due that. He's at that level now. He'll get there, though.
Yeah.
Andrade comes out second. You want to talk about where somebody started and came in a year? This man.
I mean,
think about where he was a year ago. It wasn't in a bad place, of course, but like last year around this time, I was watching him in the Continental Classic. Now I'm watching him in a triple threat for the U.S. title. That's not to say, in your bad positions.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like almost the same almost.
I'm not saying it's an upgrade. I'm just saying crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy what a difference a year makes.
We didn't think he would ever go back to WWE.
Yeah, it's crazy the difference a year makes. I mean, if you told me a year ago Lash Legend would be on the Saudi pay-per-view, I'd be like, cool. How?
Okay.
Because we called Triple H out for not booking enough African Americans.
Yeah, pretty much. That's almost why I called Carmelo winning, honestly. I almost did.
I would have been okay with it winning. Now, a little spoiler alert, you can find out now he didn't win it because...
yeah.
You knew, though. Champion LA Knight comes out with his custom LA Knight strap on his U.S. title belt, looking spiffy. It's a very subtle customization. It's like, we're just going to put LA on this strap a bunch.
I didn't notice that.
You haven't noticed it? I think it's been a couple weeks now, or maybe like a week since he did it. But yeah, on the black strap, there's little LAs.
Oh, that's cool. Let's go.
It's just a little cool customization. Nothing too over the top.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do things over the
like
top,
what
like
Tiffany will get whenever she eventually cashes in.
I thought you're gonna steal my joke. It was like making a spinner belt out of the ROH Women's title. Action gets good quick, and it's because my theory about triple threats is super accurate. There can only be exciting triple threats unless you specifically suck and make them not good.
True.
They never fail unless you make them fail.
One thing I liked about the match is there were like 3 different spots where one of the competitors hit both of the competitors with a move at the same time.
Yes.
And that's making a triple threat a triple threat.
And you love a good triple threat finish. It stays good, exciting. Hayes goes for the spinning facebuster, but LA Knight gets the BFT in midway and wins it. To the exact thing you just said. You love to see that. You love it when a move turns into somebody else's move.
It's when he did the cutter on both of them. He did the cutter, I think it was in LA, and ended up Andrade was on the floor.
Yeah.
And the other way around. And then when LA did the double elbow drop to both of them, like, good stuff. Again, it was a little faster than I expected it to be. Or a little shorter, I think.
Yeah. I feel like maybe they found out they didn't have as much time as they wanted to, but they did enough with it.
Yeah, it was serviceable, but there could have been more. 7 matches this time around.
Yeah.
I think the normal in the Triple H era has been 5.
It's been 5, and I wondered, I know this is crazy to say, I wondered if because we had 7 matches, if we were going to have a 4-hour pay-per-view. I was wondering if we were just extending it an hour, and that's why we had these extra 2 matches, which 7 is like normal.
The reason is because Saudi Arabia, obviously, they paid a lot of money to have those deals, so they need to get the most bang for their buck.
When I book Universe pay-per-views, I'm doing like 8 to 10.
Yeah.
7 is minimum. That's a regular Wednesday for Wrestling in the Middle.
Let's go.
Now,
all right.
Are you ready?
It's time.
It's time
for the main
for the main event. Men's Crown Jewel Championship. Gunther comes out first looking like he's already won the match mentally. Cody comes out to a lot of loud fan interaction.
Whoa.
A lot of woeing. We do the big fight field champions introduction in the ring. I love when we do those.
Yes.
The fans ole for a while during the stare down period before the bell rings. Then they chant and sing for a while after the bell rings. We finally do start the match, and it's exactly what you were expecting. A slower paced fundamental bout to establish early dominance. Nothing over the top. This isn't a Vikingo match, though I'd kind of wish that it were. That'd be really awesome. Still, fundamental and technical wrestling isn't a bad thing either, and it's not anything I certainly hate. Just slower. As they wrestle, Cody, of course, quickens the pace with some more of his fast-paced offense and makes the match... excuse me. I keep having to clear my throat. Then it becomes sort of a battle between the two styles. Cody speeds the match up. Gunther slows it back down. It keeps that back and forth to put together a solid wrestling match.
Good stuff, for sure.
Closer towards the ending, the back and forth match, Cody hits a crossroads but can't cover, and Gunther gets enough rest to hit the powerbomb, but Cody kicks out of the cover following it.
It's such a good sequence for sure. Yeah.
Gunther begins slapping Cody around and getting him fired up by doing so. Cody turns up, gets clotheslined, but doesn't get knocked out any, and is able to hit the crossroads, but Gunther kicks out of it.
I don't know if it was at this point or a little bit before, but again, they did the thing where they do the wave. Is that a thing now?
I guess it's a thing now.
And then Gunther, just like Orton acknowledged it last time, Gunther was like, which I just realized, that wasn't that the Gunther-Orton match that they did the wave in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So somehow this all circled back around. And Gunther was just like, ugh.
So, Gunther kicks out of the crossroads. A little surprising, but also I kind of needed it to happen for it to stay a good match. Back to square one after that, and you wonder who gets back up and takes control. Cody gets on his feet, and he starts coding up. Instead of hulking now, it's coding.
Cody, let's go.
Starts coding up. Cody tries to hit a super Cody cutter. Gunther catches him and puts him in the sleeper, but Cody rolls back and pins Gunther for 3. Cody wins the shiny belt, and I was wrong. Then the two men shake hands.
It was, yeah. I'll save it for final thoughts, actually.
You got final thoughts?
It was a match for sure.
It was a match.
It was a pretty good match.
Yeah.
It's just another one where I felt like could have been more.
I'm not going to call it Cody versus AJ, but I'm not going to call it Gunther versus Will Ospreay.
What?
It was a terrible match. You ever seen that one?
Part time, bro.
I don't think so.
Alright, final pay-per-view thoughts. Stretch my back.
Let me see what you got. I'm curious.
I expected a 3-star pay-per-view. I got a 3-star pay-per-view. I'm not complaining. I'm not bragging. I'm not putting anyone or anything over. I'm acknowledging that it was a 3-star pay-per-view and that a lot of what came out of it is conducive to lengthening storylines for Survivor Series, which is what I tried telling the Bloodline complainers, saying that the match was supposed to be in War Games. It still can be. You just gotta chill a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it. Official rating, 3-star pay-per-view. It didn't need to be anything more. Thank God it wasn't anything less.
And so, to that note, I decided on 3.5. I don't know why. I like 0.5s, I guess.
You and your points.
Again, though, I would have the same opinion, though. It was a pretty good pay-per-view. It wasn't more. I feel like it could have been more with these two champion versus champion matches. But honestly, when they started setting up Liv versus Nia, my expectations kind of went down a little bit.
Yeah.
And that match felt a little rushed. The triple threat match felt a little rushed. And
Rooshed.
the final match felt kind of like it could have been much more. You have Cody Rhodes, the poster boy of WWE right now, you know? And Gunther, who has been built up as this big monster who held the Intercontinental title for over 600 days.
Yeah,
like,
no. He could win any match clean.
It felt like there could have been more action, more drama, but it was still high action, high drama. It just felt like it could have been WrestleMania levels, in my opinion.
I'm trying to think of what my favorite match of the night was, because I feel like the U.S. Triple Threat could have ended up being my favorite match. I don't know.
It's hard, too, because to me, like I said, every match was just
Low-key,
pretty good.
really loved the women's Fatal 4-Way, and I did
pretty
not
good.
expect to say that.
I think,
Loved Rollins and Reed.
see, that's the thing. To me, it's between, as much as I thought it would be Cody and Gunther, it's between the triple threat, the women's tag, and Rollins and Reed.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the women's tag team Fatal 4-Way is going to be my favorite match tonight because of one spot in particular, and that's when Kairi Sane hit that insane elbow off the rope into the floor on Chelsea and Piper, and it just...
That whole
hit.
sequence where they were all hitting those things,
Yeah.
the Jakar part scared me. Because, again, Jakar's still a little bit, fresh to this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly thought she was about to head dive, and I was like, I cannot watch. But she didn't, thank God. It didn't look pretty, in my opinion, but it worked.
But it worked. And
That's kind of what the pay-per-view overall was.
That's what this podcast is. It's
Is
not
it
pretty,
really?
but it works.
I mean,
works hard.
I'm not pretty. I won't admit that.
We got no unfortunate news. We got no universe mode this week, but that's not because we don't have any mates. Just because I got interviews to do this week. So
Let's go.
we're gonna be doing some interviews in the meantime. But universe is coming back next week.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm shadowboxing all of a sudden.
Raw's tonight. He's getting ready for his debut, I guess.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna beat the brakes off of someone. Sorry. Okay.
Be sure to comment. Tell us how you liked Crown Jewel.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Did you hate it? Tell us why.
And are you excited for Survivor Series?
Me? No. I'm just kidding. I'm really excited. I'll see you there.
Yeah.